Hey guys, Yoshan here from Noblis in Crystal Desert. So as promised, we'll bring you to Arah this time around, and today we are going to do part 1 from Arah dungeon. Just a quick information that I have a Mesmer and a Thief in my group, so I won't be needing the Whisper Spy kit that I mentioned earlier in my item preparation guide. So if you want to complete Arah the fastest way, then you have to skip some of the mobs that are in the area. You don't have to really kill them, you just have to pass them. So right now what we are doing is using one of the thief invisibility skill to pass some of the monsters. So right now we are just walking towards the blue stone that you will see on the far right of my screen. So right now Zero is trying to click on the stone to trigger the event so that we can fight the boss in front. Now you might want to kill some of the monsters in front because you do not want these monsters to interrupt you while you are fighting the boss, especially if you see the illusionist. I'll recommend to kill it as soon as possible because they're really painful when they cast that AoE. If you have a stability skill, you might want to equip that before you fight this boss, because when he attacks, he will actually knock you back. So by having a stability skill, that will be very useful because you don't get knocked down or knocked back by the boss. So when the boss died, it will actually drop an item that you need to pick up and bring it back to the blue stone that we clicked earlier. Do it quickly because you do not want this green slimy stuff to chase you all the way until the boss area. It'll be good if you have an invisible skill or Whisper Spy kit with you. Gone invisible just now, and right now all the mobs are no longer chasing my teammates and myself. So there goes the first chest for you, and right now we're just moving forward. We are going back to the boss area, but this time around we're going forward to the next area. Clean up some of the towers if you want, and then again you need to go invisible from here. The next area is gonna be a bit difficult because you have a lot of ground to cover, so try to run as fast as you can with the invisibility on. As you can see, there's a lot of veteran Then after that you can go back into the light area to hit the monsters. Outside the light area you can't really damage all these monsters. Your damage will be very low when you are outside the light area. Uh, you can just skip some of the monsters, but don't go down from here. Just walk a little bit to your left. Once you reach this edge, you just walk down from there. Then just walk straight down to the burning helicopter on the ground, where you are going to see a box that you can trigger. Once you trigger the box, and all the monster will die, and you can just walk straight up. So once you see this gate, it's a sign that you are already in the third chest area. Basically what you need to do here is just kill the tar elements, a big tar elements actually. So get one of your teammates to take this 300 years old see it in a while. So you see those waters coming out from the ground, make sure all your teammates are standing on those spots. Once all 4 spots has been covered, these big tar elements will appear, and the first thing you need to do is use the 300 years old whiskey skill, which is a fire breath skill. Cast that on the tar elements quickly, because otherwise the tar element will be able to turn your character into a stone. So once you cast that fire, you can actually just drop the 300 years old whiskey and then help your teammates to damage the tar elements, but every 5 minutes or so go and pick it up again from the stone, and then use the skill again, just to make sure that the buffs remain, the fire buff remains on the tar elements. Don't forget to grab your chest before you move forward, and just at the corner of this road you'll see a bunch of monsters. They are not really a threat, so just go ahead and kill them. Just make sure all your characters stack on one spot so that you can easily deal damage to all of them.
Okay, by the way,
so again, this is the part where you have to skip all the monsters. This is just before the loopy area. So loopy is the next boss that you will face, which is the 4th chest in part 1 of Arah. So what you want to do now is walk on the side. Be careful not to die here because there's no waypoint. So if you die, you have to walk really far. So try to stand on the edge of this and then get your teammates to cast the invisibility skills. You don't have to actually use this skill if you don't have a thief. You can actually just walk while you are still visible, but just make sure you are stick on the left of the map or the wall, so that none of those monsters in the center will come to you and start attacking you. In order to open the gate, you have to kill these 2 champions first. It should be quite easy, but just make sure you don't cast any skill that has a large area, because you do not want to attract those monsters behind you or next to you. Just make sure you focus on these 2 monsters. Okay, don't go straight. Just let me... This is the next boss that you have to kill, Loopy. And in order to kill this, you want to make sure that everyone has a long range weapons. That way it is easier to kill him. If you're a guardian, then with a little bit of tweak in your skill, you can actually do a melee damage to him if you want to. Maybe you just need to learn a little bit of tricks here and there. Make sure you have the correct skills to do it. So the first phase of this boss, you have to stand on one spot. Just make sure you stand on the same spot as we do, because you want to make sure that you can still damage him from far. So during this first phase, he will actually cast a grub underneath your character. So when he does that, you have to quickly kill that grub before the grub run back to the boss, because when the grub is underneath the boss feet, he will actually eat it, and he will gain a buff that will make him stronger. When he's stronger, obviously he will deal more damage towards your character, and everything becomes harder, right? So just make sure you kill the grub first before you hit the boss again.
Okay, phase 2.
So right now the boss is entering the second phase of the fight, whereby he will start to use this teleport skill once in a while. Just make sure everyone is spread out throughout the maps. Try not to stand together, and if you're a guardian, you can actually use some of your shield skill in order to block some of his range attack. So when he teleport to you, just make sure you dodge it at the right timing so you don't get knocked down, because when you are knocked down, he will hit you with his hand, which deals quite a lot of damage. And this is another skill that he will normally use. It's quite difficult to dodge that if you don't time it perfectly. If you fail to time it perfectly, you will stuck within the bubble. It's best to use heal skill when you are inside that bubble, because it really deals a lot of damage. Or if you have a stability skill, then you will be able to escape easily. And if you really need a repair, then you can actually go back now and do a repair, because after this you will fight the last boss.
And if that fails, the queen can save.
So it's all about running from here. You will run quite far, so you don't have to use invisibility or anything. Just make sure you have the speed buff turn on at all time. Try to move together, because that way it's easier. But since I'm a guardian, normally I'll walk in front so that all the enemy will attack me first instead of my teammates. Just keep walking, follow the path, and there's actually another chest in front. If you decided to kill the gorilla, normally we don't do it because it's really not worth it in a way. So just keep the Right now we are very
Maybe
close
start
to
with
the gorilla boss. So if you decided to get your fifth chest, you can do so. But my recommendation is not to kill it because it's gonna waste a lot of time to do it. Cast invisible skill so we can de-aggro all the mobs
Okay. Diago.
just like that. And just so happens some of my guildmates died while they are trying to walk. So we gotta need to wait. We have to wait for them for a while. I think you still need. Next, we'll have to take 5 crystal from the ground in front. There'll be a lot of spiders in front. So what I usually do is I'll go in alone and try to aggro some of these mobs so that they will chase me instead of my teammates. And then once all the monsters start to follow me, I'll get all my teammates to start picking up the crystal. There are a total of 3 crystals on the area at a time. So you gotta have to wait for the other two to spawn back. Till they finally collect all 5 crystals. Oh, the 5th crystal just appeared, and this will be for me. So I'm gonna pick that up and then catch up some of my friends who already waited for me at the last boss room. Okay, let's go. This is the last boss in Arah Part 1. It is actually the easiest boss you can fight in Arah. You just need to go into the room. The boss will appear from the stone on the left side, and you need to stand in the center of the room throughout the fight, and just get everyone to sort of like stand in a circle, but try to make it further apart because once in a while the boss will cast fire AoE on the ground, which the only skill that probably gonna kill you, because when he casts that
The reflex skill can do the same thing.
normal attack, which is like some sort of like a fireball, blue fireball, you can actually reflect them back to the boss, and it will deal quite a large amount of damage to the boss itself. So once in a while, maybe after the boss hit you for like 5 times, your crystal will disappear, and what you have to do next is get the teammates that do not have crystal to stand behind someone that has a crystal. That way you will guarantee that your teammates stay alive even if they don't have a crystal. You need to know that the fireball will actually kill you instantly. So you see what are my teammates doing? They just stand behind me because I still have the crystal. Once in a while we dodge the fire AoE on the ground to stay alive. Die. So that's it, guys. We just killed the last boss, and you get to take the last chest from Arah Part 1. And after this, you just need to wait for the NPC to open the gate in front of you, walk towards the center of the map after that, and you'll get the full reward from Arah Part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed the tricks that you can get from this guide. So I'll see you in the next guide for part 2 from Arah. This is your Sharon